When I was in law school, looking for where there was the most innovation, where there was the most bravery to try new things, I often found Latin America to be the place where people were doing the most interesting things, where people were taking traditions that were very similar to the constitutional traditions of the United States, and yet exploring new possibilities. So when the opportunity came up to host students in the Linkages program, I jumped at the opportunity. The idea that I could come to Argentina and learn about the history and the ways in which people approached protecting the environment and protecting human rights, because in truth I see environment and the right to a healthy planet as the fundamental human right. It just seemed like an obvious idea that I would come here, that I would learn from the experts here, that I would explore the similarities and the differences between Argentinian law and law in the United States. So I really loved the breadth, and I really loved the ability to be able to talk about issues that mattered to me, whether meeting with the Minister of Security or whether meeting with philosophy professors. Everyone was able to really discuss these broad ideas. And then my second favorite was probably visiting the Memorial Museum for the human rights, ESME, I think it's called, for those who had been disappeared during the junta. One of the reasons I love comparative law and exchange programs is because of the opportunity it has to open your mind to possibility, because of the ways it can help us find different routes and pathways forwards towards our goals. Coming here has just shown me an entirely different way of thinking. It's helped open up my world from a lot of the problems, the most persistent problems in the United States, which kind of you can track your mind into thinking that this is just a perennial problem. And yet the problems that people face here are almost entirely different, and yet some of the solutions around empowering democracy, giving people the right to vote, and fighting corruption are still the same. And so it's this tension between the great differences of this country compared to our country, and yet the same solution towards deeper, more profound democracy is probably the thing that I'll be carrying with me for the long